Iggy here with Project Nerd, and I'm at the Tallgrass Film Festival in Wichita, Kansas. I'm sitting down with Daniel Clark. How are you doing today?
I'm great.
Great, awesome. We're talking about his film Behind the Curve. Daniel Clark made this documentary and brought it out here. Is this the first film festival you've been to with this, or is this another?
Not the first.
Okay.
But it's the third one I've been to.
Third one you've been to?
Yes.
Awesome, all right. What are you thinking about it so far, this Tallgrass Film
is
Festival?
Amazing.
It's crazy.
It's so very welcoming to the filmmakers, and the audiences are fantastic.
It is.
And I'm not just pandering. Like, that's a real statement that I really believe.
A lot of people feel that way. It's like a little gem kind of hidden in the
Yeah.
middle of the country when you usually think of film festivals in California or New York or something. It's this great one right out here.
Especially with documentaries, a lot of times you get swallowed up by, like, the big celebrity movies, and this one, I feel just as special.
Awesome, awesome. So tell us a little bit about Behind the Curve.
Behind the Curve is a documentary that follows the Flat Earth movement as of 2017. Which it's constantly evolving, but it follows a few of the main Flat Earth leaders on YouTube and web presence, and as it follows them as they go to their first ever Flat Earth International Conference. So months before that, leading up, you get to know them, and then they all meet together in North Carolina.
Awesome. So you follow a specific group then that kind of goes through this process, or is it different individuals?
Different individuals.
Okay.
So they're all over. There's Seattle, Houston, Dallas, Denver, and then like Central California.
Okay, and this conference was it recent or was it?
The conference happened November of last year.
Okay,
2017.
So you're fairly fresh off of making this then.
We rushed through it.
Rushed through it. So tell us, what was I think with such a topic like this, what made you say I need to do something about it. I need to cover this?
Well, we the producers and I decided that Flat Earth was a really interesting topic to kind of understand, because we started, as most people did, say, what is Flat Earth real? Like, are these people being serious? And we looked into it, and it seemed that they definitely were. And not only that, there were these different factions, and there were these kind of sides being formed, and there were all these people doing experiments. And we said, this could make a really we're documentarians to begin with, so we're always thinking, oh, could this be a movie? And no one else was doing it, so that was exciting.
It seems to be a topic that's there, but yet you can't dig that much deeper into it anymore. You said nobody else is making it. It's like saying, I can find this and I can get that, and I'm like, I want to learn more about exactly why these people are thinking that. And it's great because, as you said, there's nothing really out there to do that. Now it sounds like you've put a documentary out there that's going to help people better understand where they're coming from, at least.
And we knew we had a good idea when everybody we talked to about it, because we would work on other projects and say, I'm making this movie about this thing and this guy and this guy, and people would nod and say, that's neat. And then we'd say, we're making a movie about flat earthers, and they'd say, I want to know more about that.
Exactly.
Tell me. So we were like, oh, this is probably something that we can that is good to be doing.
Well, that's when they were saying you're going to come in here. I'm like, I want to talk to this guy about this, because to me it is a fascinating thing.
Yeah.
And to ask that question, you spent some time with some of these people. You asked them those questions. I think that a lot of us want to ask, and that's that thing where when I think of conspiracy theories or theories or however we want to word that, there's a lot of them where it's like I can see ground for it even if I disagree with it. This one's so hard for some people to comprehend. As you mentioned, people are always like, what's going on there? So getting some time with them and that, I guess, how did you feel like when you were interacting with them and they were answering some of these questions that you maybe didn't really? It's such a topic, it's hard to find words for it, but it's things that you probably were like, why do you believe this? And as they gave you answers, where did you kind of go in terms of, this makes sense that somebody could feel this, or what? I guess what helped develop in your emotions and your thoughts about this movement over the time of making it?
Well, to start, I am not a flat earther, which is sometimes a question. So I came at it from that point of view, and I never told them that I was a flat earther. I didn't try to lie to them. I said, we're making a documentary about the flat earth movement, and there have been a lot of news stories about flat earthers, and a lot of them mock the subjects, or it's kind of like, have you ever seen a news story on marijuana? They have to throw as many puns in as they possibly can. It's just, it's not good. And we decided we didn't want to mock these people. We wanted to understand them. So before I would go to interview, I wouldn't go in cold. I'd watch as many YouTube videos by that person or what we might talk about. So I wasn't really ever surprised by the answer. Sometimes I was, but it was never me being shocked and confused at what they believe. I already kind of knew what it was, but I was trying to get at why and who they were as a person. I don't know if I answered your question.
No,
at
I
all.
think so. I think I think that was that is to me. I guess you did a lot of research, so seeing some of the answers, but yeah, just understanding a little bit about it. And with that, I think as you spent time there, what was maybe to use the right words here, what was maybe one of the things you didn't expect to hear? What somebody gave you a theory or a reasoning, and you were like, I never saw that one coming.
One of the people we talked to. Sorry, the movie. One of the people we talked to said that they wouldn't believe that like a terrorist attack happened, like legitimately, even if they were there, unless they personally were injured, they would think that everyone else was acting.
Really?
And I found that really, it's a couple things simultaneously. It's a very optimistic point of view to think that there aren't just bad people out there that will do that to strangers, but it's also super pessimistic to think that the government would do that to its own people or lie about it to keep us in check, or to kind of keep us scared and needing the defense budget and things like that. So that took me by surprise, and I was a little caught off guard at that moment. But
yeah, definitely, and that's not just a flat Earth thing. There's a lot of people that believe conspiracies behind some of these things. I just want to say, not a question, but talking to you about that and the way you just answered that shows the appreciation and makes me say, before I've even seen it yet, go watch this documentary, because you're very clearly not taking a biased approach by saying this was when he said that person said it. Here's the optimistic view. Here's the pessimistic. So I just want to say. That's awesome, because so many times even documentary filmmakers can throw a little bias in there, and it could influence it. And this sounds like it's just really giving us a good scope into what's going on in this world, with their world.
But the movie is a little bit fun. I think we don't really make fun of anybody, but there's definitely some laughs that when you see some of the things, you'll crack up. But we never meant to make fun of anybody. We're not trying to mock anybody. Sometimes Mark just said something really funny, or he missed, a button that was there in front of him. You'll have to see the movie to know what that means. So, yeah, we didn't want to mock them. We didn't want to be like anybody else who was doing these stories. We really didn't want to use any puns, even though our title is kind of a pun. Sorry.
No, it's all right.
I am a liar.
So we're here at Tallgrass. Obviously, it's showing, but by the time this interview goes out, it'll be too late. So what other film festivals coming up can people find Behind the Curve at?
We're at, I don't know how soon is soon.
In the next couple weeks, we'll be airing this. So through November, through the winter, if you know any of them already.
Let me think about this for a second. Edit this. We're going to be at Hot Springs in Arkansas on Saturday. We're in northern Seattle on Sunday.
So it's showing showing considerably this weekend for sure.
Yeah, it's actually pretty busy. No, I think the next big one is Doc NYC.
Okay.
Which is the second week of November. And then after that, it'll be possibly available for people to download and view at their home.
Well, that was my next question. Perfect. So for that possibility available, why don't you let us know, or let the audience know where they can find more information about this online so they can keep an eye on that?
Online, we have a website. It's called BehindTheCurveFilm.com. And then we have social media. If you just search iterations of that, it should be
perfect. And we'll make sure we post all those links on the interview. Well, Daniel, it was awesome. I was happy to talk about it. I'm really looking forward to this film.
Thank
you. For those of you that are checking this out, make sure you go check it out. As again, it's Behind the Curve. Anybody interested in learning more about the Flat Earth movement. Thanks again, Daniel. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.